This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Friday morning. Hey, stick around. I've got a guest coming in. He is actually my political idol, Steve Reeb. He'll be in just a little bit. As you all know, Steve ran against Kern the first time Kern ran for county board chairman. And just about, well, no, he beat him, but the election was stolen. You guys remember that's the election where people got indicted and they told Sprague that they thought Kern was a racist and needed more money. It's all in the federal tapes, in the federal transcripts. Steve Reeb actually won. He is the forefather of our St. Clair County Freedom Coalition movement. I was inspired by Steve for what he did down there. Just about he did single-handedly beat the Democratic culture of corruption in St. Clair County. But as always, the rotten, no good, good for nothing, son of a bitch and political parasitical punks that we call politicians stole the election. I just hope you good people in 2016 understand, both Democrats and Republicans, men, women, independents, this crap can't go on. This crap cannot go on. It's been going on for 50 years. This culture of corruption, and the problem is, and I've said it before, it's like the pink elephant in the room. Everybody tries to avoid the pink elephant, and they usually do. But when that pink elephant the night before went out and drank a case of beer and eat a ton of chili, and he's farting his ass off, you cannot not smell the stink. And that's what you got. And I want to apologize to the pink elephant's farts, because they don't stink as bad as these rotten bastards in St. Clair County. But you know what I mean. It's just out of hand. Everybody knows it. The officials know it, but they're part of the problem, not the solution. That's why nothing's done. And it just pisses me off. But anyway, Mr. Steve Reeb will be with us momentarily. And don't forget, my disclaimer, Steve Reeb's here not to endorse me, not to say what a good guy I am, not to say anything good about me. Steve Reeb is here. I asked him to come in and talk about a little bit about politics because he is the front runner in all this at the start. When we started this a few years back, I thought, you know what? Love to have somebody like Steve Reeb, who was a fighter. He inspired me, and I think that inspiration is going to lead to victory for our candidates come November of 16. So he'll be here, and it'll be very interesting. He's also an entertainer. He's a county board member, and he's just a good old guy all the way around, and we'll be with Mr. Steve Reeb here in just a little bit. Let's take care of my housekeeping, and yesterday I didn't get it because I went crazy, and I'm going to go crazy today, but I want to get this housekeeping out of the way, especially this first one. They called me at the Leesman Funeral Home in Dupo. You guys know about that poor little girl that was killed. What a tragedy. And I don't know if her mother was sick. I don't know if her mother was guilty. But I got to say, everybody's innocent till proven guilty. But if she is guilty, let me go, and I will personally, legally of course, cut cut off her head and roll it down the courthouse steps. That's how the hell? People are fighting for the lives of their children every day. And I don't want to go crazy on this lady yet because she hasn't been convicted. But once she is, turn your radios off because I won't have a good word to say about that lady. But anyway, they're not asking for donations. Somebody's picked up the funeral. The funeral home staff has donated their time and services, the casket and the flowers. Wilbert Vault has donated the burial vault. What great people. Cindy Davis and Carrie Davis have donated the grave space at Valhalla Garden of Memories. Then Garden in the Valhalla Cemetery has waived the opening and closing charges to assist the family with this tragedy. Emily, the poor little girl, Emily Rose Perrin, had 6 siblings, and they're in need of financial assistance. So if anyone can help, please do whatever you can do. The number, I don't have the rest of the information with me, but call the Leesman Funeral Home. And I want to salute Leesman's Funeral Home for all they're doing to assist in the cause, and we'll definitely help out here. I'll be contacting you good people, but call Leesman Funeral Home at 618-286-4511. And again, this is the beautiful young 4-year-old girl who was killed allegedly by her mother. Mother's been charged, I think, with first-degree murder. What a tragedy! And if we can help these people out, what? I don't know how you. Well, anyway, I can't go there. But Leesman Funeral Home, 618-286-4511. That's the beautiful young lady, 4 years old. That was her life was taken way too short. Heroes Inside. Coming up Saturday, tomorrow, the 16th, at Everett Moody Park, Longacre Park in Fairview Heights. Lots of fun for the children, bounce houses, face painting, live bands, great music. And they're raising awareness against heroin. You know, back in the day, they would have speeches about heroin and bring addicts in and blah, blah, blah. And they still do a little bit of that. But they also want to make it a fun time. They want to be informational, but they want to be entertaining too. And just hope that your family never, anybody ever gets addicted to any kind of drug or alcohol, but it happens all the time. So I would say to you, if your family's not involved, you get involved so at some point your family won't be involved in any kind of addiction. Coming up Saturday, April the 16th, the Cahokia VFW Post 1699, their car show. Going to have barbecue and refreshments. Any questions or concerns, you can contact the good people at VFW Post 1699. It's 618-337-1699. Coming up tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to try to make it out there to the American Legion Post 199. They're having their big, what do they call it? Annual Spring Rocks on the Hill at their beautiful facility and golf course in Edwardsville. They're located at 58 South State Route 157 in Edwardsville. They're going to have 3 bands. They're going to have music. Going to have a great time. It's this Saturday. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call the good people at the Edwardsville American Legion, 789-2670. Tori Story. Morgan Family Fundraiser, Spaghetti Dinner this Sunday, April the 17th from 4 to 8 p.m. at St. John's the Baptist Catholic Church in the beautiful town of Smithton. That's the young lady, the senior at Freeburg High School, who was seriously hurt in a car crash on her way to school on March the 21st. The radio station will try to make it out. We've got some other commitments, but we're going to try to make it out there. And if you have any information or need any information, contact Paula at 340-5381. And again, Joe Wallmeister, thank you very much for all your help. The Ainite Shriners Drum and Bugle Corps Spring Exhibition. The O'Fallon Jazz Band Ensemble. They'll be their special guest. That'll be held April 23rd, 7 o'clock p.m. at the Scottish Rites Auditorium, located at 1549 Frank Scott Parkway. If you guys can make it out there, please do. You can contact the good people at the Scottish Rites, 618-874-1870. Holy Families Catholic Church Men and Women's Club in Cahokia. They're having their Spring Wing Ding dance this Friday, today, April the 15th. Doors open at 6 p.m. tonight. Servings at 6:30. It's a contest of wings made the best way you know how. Bring 3 pounds of your wings, free admission. Hell, I don't know what the hell's going on here. But anyway, call the good people at 337-4548 for any and all information. We got the Scottish Rites thing out of the way. Don't forget, you can listen to me on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and/or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to our streaming site, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling for the best of all 3 of our great stations. You can hear me now on my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday. And now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night at the stroke of midnight. You can like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM. And go to the Fans of the Grim Reaper on Facebook and also St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. We've got some nice photographs of our St. Clair County Board Chairman, Mark Sweet Cakes Kernan. He's looking sweeter every day, if you know what I mean. And I kind of think that you do. Wait, no, the O'Fallon Moose Lodge, Saturday, April the 16th. They're having their barbecue, so don't forget those good people. The American Legion in O'Fallon, every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday dinner night special, and we're going to try to make it out there. And every Monday through Friday, lunch will be sold at the American Legion in O'Fallon from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. On this date, April the 15th, 1738, the bottle opener was invented. On this date, April the 15th, 1770, Joseph Priestley discovered that a piece of rubber could erase lead from pencils. On this date, April the 15th, 1865, at 7:22 a.m., President Lincoln died several hours after he was shot and wounded at Ford's Theater in Washington by John Wilkes Booth. On this date, April the 15th, 1923, insulin became generally available for diabetics. On this date, April the 15th, 1949, Jackie Robinson played his first Major League Baseball game, becoming the first black to do so. On this date, April the 15th, 1955, the first McDonald's hamburger store opened in San Bernardino, California. On this date, April the 15th, 1957, Congress restored Saturday mail delivery. And last but certainly not least, for our good Chinese friends, April the 15th, 1983, the Tokyo Disneyland opened. Hey, and for Kern and Sprague, I tell your wives that you can ride. They can, not you guys, you'd probably like to ride the Screaming Bob, but it's only reserved for ladies. Well, then your wives can't go either. Hey, never mind, what the hell. That's what happened on this date, April the 15th, throughout all these years in our world's history. I got to say again, hey, Joe English, you rat bastard, you no-count greasy son of a bitch, I want my $500 back. You ass-white bastard. You know, he used to come up to me, and we were friends. Hey, Bob, can I get $500? My house is falling down. I say, yeah, and then he gets on the Belleville News Democrat and talks about my corrupt money that I'm buying the election. Hell, I'm running as a Republican, you idiot. And how the hell do you know what I'm doing, Joe English? Your head's so far up Kern's ass, you don't know what the hell's going on. But he tells me, I'm going to vote for you. I don't like Kern. I hate a hypocritical son of a bitch, people. You know that? I'm a lot of things. Well, I'm a whole lot of things. I'm not a hypocrite. But Joe English, give me my $500 back, you deadbeat bitch. And see, when I say bitch, ladies, I don't say that to disrespect the female gender. It's just a guy or a woman, I don't care. Bitch, 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 bitch all the time. I love women, but my opposition goes, oh, he talks about women all the time. Sounds like Trump. Yeah. Hey, I tell those people that say that, I'm just a little bit better than you, but Joe English, what a ass-kissing, no-count, good-for-nothing son of a bitch. And I tell you what, his brothers are great people. His dad, John English, what a great man back in the day. What the hell happened to this idiot? Maybe you checked the rock. Maybe he's really not in English. Maybe he's more like a rockhead, ignorant, stupid son of a bitch. But hey, that's okay. We'll talk about that later. Coming up on April the 30th, our first annual St. Clair County Freedom Coalition Patriotic Salute to America. It'll be held at Fisher's from 6 to 10 p.m. It's nonpartisan. Now, there's going to be politics talk because that's what we do in America. Talk politics and eat pizza and other things. The gay guy, well, hey, I can't even go there. It's going to be a bad day for me today. I'm going to be censored all over the place. And we'll speak about being censored here momentarily because Ron Dupert, I want to talk about that idiot. He's running for judge as a Republican. I think he's running. I don't think he can run until he gets his head out of Mary Thurman and Barb Viviano and John West's ass. You know, you talk about the O'Fallon Republicans, and that's not true. There's a lot of great Republicans in O'Fallon. They're just not John West, Barb Viviano, Mary Thurman, or our good friend Doug Jamison. You know old Doug. Don't be married to Doug and let him say he's a ball player and come in the house with a baseball bat. I don't think he's going to be using that bat to hit balls with. I just don't think. I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking. But anyway, we'll talk about Dupert. But our annual dinner coming up Saturday. And if you go onto a website, there's going to be a few tickets given out there, $500 a piece. We expect 500 people. And any profit's going to go to the military organizations. It's not a political deal. But so if anybody wants to attend, get on our Facebook. I think they're giving away a few tickets on our website or Facebook, St. Clair County Freedom Coalition. We're going to have patriotic music. And speaking about Steve Reeb, he is one hell of a great entertainer. He's all around. I know he's got other businesses. He does this for the enjoyment for himself and his audience. If you guys have never heard him, and we'll talk about what he's been doing, but he's going to honor us with, not only honor us with being one of our honored guests, because he did start this movement years back, but he's going to honor us with some Johnny Cash songs, and he sounds like Johnny Cash. I'd say he looks like Johnny Cash, and I'd say he smells like Johnny Cash, but Johnny Cash's been dead for a while, so I don't want to disrespect Steve. But anyway, he'll be there, going to have a great time, but then May the 1st, that's when the patriotic movement moves on to destroy the culture of corruption in St. Clair County. Hey, Ron Dupert. Hey, you idiot. I was told that you threatened me yesterday. A friend of mine said that you threatened me, you no-class, unqualified candidate for judge. How do you get a 25% rating? Hell, if you got up in the morning and brushed your teeth, you'd get 25% rating, I'd think. Maybe why don't you brush your hairy ass? Dupert, Ron Dupert, and give me a call. I know you're an attorney. I know you're a big shot. Well, that's a lie. It's the first time I've lied on the air because you're not a big shot. You're a piece of crap. But don't get mad at me and challenge me and threaten me. Next thing you'll know, you want to challenge me to a totally naked wrestling match in the boys' locker room. And I ain't going for that crap. You idiot. And by the way, you need to save that. You need to save that activity for those young black boys. If you know what I mean. And I think you do. Don't mess with me, Dupert. Who the hell do you think you are, you idiot? And talk about the Republicans. And not the good Republicans. The great Republicans in St. Clair County. Great people. That's why they've never won. Because they got an asswipe Republican organization. There's 3 or 4 or 5 people from O'Fallon been ruining it, not running it. And I'm talking about John West, talking about Mary Thurman, Barb Viviano, and of course Doug the home run hitter Jamison, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. But this idiot Dupert all up this Mary Thurman's ass, and boy, it's a big ass. But this son of a bitch, I get censored because they don't like me? I don't give a damn. I'm not going to run. I'm going to give it to the Democrat because apparently that's what these 3, and they call themselves the Republican organization of St. Clair County. There's about as organized as my underwear drawer, my crappy underwear drawers with the crap in it. Yeah, we wash my underdrawers occasionally. I don't know, Sprague, I know you piss in your pants. Do you crap in your drawers? It's just a side note. Sprague, you're an idiot too. This is a bad day for me and you no good son of a bitches. But Duper, he was censored before the Illinois Attorney Registration and Disciplinary Committee. And I think he got censored, and I think he got other things, but we won't talk about that, Ron. We won't go into that. But don't bend over and pick up that quarter because I think it's a trick, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. But anyway, Ron Dupert, running for judge, 25, and he's running against another idiot. Got two idiots running for judge. Him and the noodle. Do you like noodles, Dupert? If you like noodles, maybe you and him ought to get together. Maybe he's got a big noodle. I don't know. I don't know why the hell they call him Red on the Noodle. Maybe he's got a big noodle somewhere on that old-ass body of his. But Dupert, don't go around telling people, I better watch it. I'd say I got something you can watch, but you may enjoy it, and so I'm not going to say that. What an idiot. And you're running for judge with a 25% approval rating? Are you crazy? And don't get me going, Duper, because I'll tell some tales about your ass. Don't want to go there, and I'm going to save it. But don't play games with me. You got something to say to Bob Romanik, you call me. You call me right now, Duper. Toll free, 1-888-394-1430. On the east side, 394-1190, you cheap son of a bitch. And I got to say, he's the one that put Dallas Cook out there to do all these lawsuits. Dallas Cook stuck with $30,000, $40,000 in legal fees. You know the lawsuit to get the judges thrown off. You know who it's going to help? Dupert. I asked Dupert. I said, Dupert, why don't you donate some money? Oh, yeah. I said, well, hell, what's the payment on that Porsche that you're driving? He said, I ain't got no payment. That's $150,000, and it's paid for. What a complete idiot. And Dupert, defend yourself. And don't ever threaten me, especially somebody like you, some badass. Threaten me, I take it serious. You little bitch boy. You kiss my ass. And I'm probably going to vote for Bear Civic just because I know about, you know about my background, Dupert. You and Mary Thurman, and they read it out. Hey, he's a felon. He's this 18 years ago. I'm not ashamed of it, not proud of it. But I'll stand tall for what I did because I'm a man. You, on the other hand, Dupert, we want to get into your background. It ain't going to be pretty. So you tell your ladies out there, Thurman and Viviano and West, ladies, well, you know what I mean. And I think you do. You tell them, get off my ass, because I'm far from being perfect, but I'm not a hypocrite like you ignorant, stupid 3 or 4 son of a bitches that have screwed up this Republican organization. And it's a shame because there's a lot of good Republicans I've met all throughout St. Clair County, and they're tired of the crap. They're no longer in the organization because you stupid idiot imbeciles have run them out. You have no organization. You have no money. You have no class. All you got is a bunch of low-life, good-for-nothing, can't do nothing in their lives but sit around in a little room and talk about everybody else, son of a bitches. And that's the St. Clair County Republican Party, led by the biggest idiot. And we'll talk about him maybe, and I'll refresh you about Doug S. Jameson from Sangamon County, who I think they ran his ass out, so he came down here, and it may just happen here. We'll be back right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting at its finest, America's bi-state, not bisexual. Hey, do you hear me, Duper? Maybe you and Bear Civic get together, the noodle and the scroodle. America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very, very proud to be, not Duper, not Bear Civic, but proud to be the Patriot. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, insane broadcasting at its finest, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. You know, I talk about these asswipe Republican establishment, not the true Republicans, not the true rank and file, hardworking Republicans in St. Clair County, but the few asswipes. And it's Doug Jamieson. I've got the court record here. Order a domestic violence order of protection. There was a couple of them issued. And then the court ordered him to take a psychological exam. Now, hell, you can't be that stupid. I'm nuts. I know I'm nuts. I don't need a psychiatrist to tell me I'm nuts. And this idiot owed $98,000 in back child support. Domestic violence summons issued to the defendant, Doug Jamieson. Now, this is the Doug Jamieson that is leading the Republican Party in St. Clair County. And I would ask all the good Republicans. I thought the moral people of the Republican leadership in St. Clair County, why are they letting that happen? Why are they letting that happen? But anyway, these bastards don't like me. These 4 or 5 ignorant son of bitches don't like me. So they say they're not supporting me. Well, you can take your 4 or 5 votes and shove it up your Republican asses. And I'm not talking about the good Republicans. I'm talking about the 4 or 5 idiots that I just spoke about. So I'm not going to run. I'm going to give it to the Democrat, because apparently if these 4 or 5 Republican leaders aren't supporting me, they got to be supporting my opposition, Latoya Greenwood, the councilwoman from East St. Louis, who her dad has done screwed everything up. He's the president of the school board. And of course, she works for the school board, makes $100,000 a year, another $40,000. Now she wants this job. How greedy can somebody get? But if that's what you stupid Republicans want, that's what you're going to get. And here's what I'm going to say to you.
Let's go out in a blaze of glory. All good things must end like 2 heroes in a story. Let's go out like we came in a blaze of glory.
So you rotten son of a bitches, Bob Romanik's going to go out in a blaze of glory, and it ain't going to be pretty. So the St. Clair County Republican Party, which is made up of 4 or 5 greasy idiots, I'm going out in a blaze of glory, but watch out, because you may be burnt by that blaze of glory, and I mean burnt politically, of course. We got a caller? Go ahead, caller. You're on the dark side.
Good morning, Mr. Romanik. I just had the absolute delight of reading a commentary that was posted on my conservative Democrat blog, which promotes you and Donald Trump and any other conservative. Our catchphrase is lifting up leaders, not liars. And we understand where you're coming from politically, and we support you.
Well, thank you.
This gentleman, I also want to say before I forget, I've lost my ability to drive because of a surgery I had last fall that left me blind.
Well, ma'am, let me tell you, ma'am, I've had a friend that was blind, and I want to apologize to you.
Oh, no,
Wait a minute. No. Listen, I want to apologize to you because you're a proud lady. You lost your eyesight, and you're still involved. And I get up in the morning and my back hurts. And, you know, I'm probably the biggest bitch in town because people like you.
No, I think I have a brother that could beat you and probably a couple of sisters.
Well, wait a minute, though. I just want to tell you, ma'am, I salute you because, I know you've got problems. But let me tell you what, I've got nothing but respect for the people that are a little less fortunate than I am with my sight, with their sight or with their limbs, because you guys have a problem and you work through it. Idiots like me, we don't have problems. We make problems. But go ahead, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All I'm trying to say, first of all, there are many people who have it so much worse than I do. God blesses me richly every day, and for the love of me, I don't know why, but I appreciate it. But the point I was trying to make is I can't drive, but I would like to discuss with you at some point, what can I do? Please don't drop out of the race. We need you. What can I do to volunteer for your campaign? Now, this resident put this comment on here. We're just going to call him County Resident for now. He's very active. I'm going to try and recruit him to be a contributor on the blog because he's so elegant eloquent, and his political acumen leaves nothing to be desired, and he hits the nail on the head every time. Can I just briefly read to you what he put on the blog?
Yeah, if you don't cuss like I do, we'll have to cut you off. Go ahead.
I do, just not on the air.
There you go.
I want to get one of those T-shirts that says, I love Jesus, but I cuss sometimes.
Okay, well, thank you, ma'am. Go right ahead.
April 14th will go down as the morning after and the day that the world knew Mount Romanik has erupted. Listeners to his daily radio show recognize that he says what's on his mind and he does not disappoint. At war with St. Clair County Republican Party over their censure of him as a candidate, he called out the elitism and hypocrisy of the party, supporting a chairman who has quite the encyclopedic court file in Sangamon County in Springfield. Let's look at this from another angle. Why are they ashamed to embrace a man who has the pot of financial gold to help them with their supposed dream to topple the county Democrats? You see the bumper stickers about spending your kids' inheritances, and this man is. Do understand that it's not his first choice to do so, but sadly, and I'm so sorry, I can hardly not keep from crying, he lost his son and heir last September and has chosen to create a living legacy for us, all of us, by using his hard-earned and well-invested money. He once gave a shout-out to his stockbroker, by the way, to fuel opponents for their county political races this year. Do they not realize how their own creds would skyrocket if they could bomb the Sprague Party into oblivion? You have a man who will never forget how the Democrats insulted his son through him and is willing to spend that son's lost inheritance against them. Who is foolish enough to pass it up? Obviously, Doug Jamieson and his gang of fools are. Bob is seriously considering dropping out of the race for a state house seat. Please don't. Personally, I think he should take the advice of his coalition's director and establish it as a party, yes, and run that way. If he's paying out good money for this director, you hope he's getting solid winning advice. He noted that nearly 3,000 people had signed his nominating petitions. Impressive in itself, when others get door slammed in their faces, attempting to get way less than that. That alone should prove to these snobs that we want change and we want it now. It's not yet May, and already we're seeing the friction heating up. They say it will be a long, hot, and dry summer, shift in the jet stream, but I'm confident that we'll have more fireworks once campaigning gets going in earnest. On April 14th, Bob Romanik launched the first explosive charge, and I couldn't have been happier for him and us in his doing so.
Ma'am, I'm going to tell you thanks. Let's take a break. This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Hey, I want to thank that lady. You know, you made my day, ma'am. You know, I went in the bathroom and cried. I cried for my son like I cry for the people of St. Clair County. And she's right. I'm going to take the money that my son was going to spend and spend it on the rotten bastards that screwed my son because they didn't like me. What low-life bastards you are. I'm coming after you. Well, I don't have to be an elected official. I don't have to be on the ticket. I'm coming after you, son of a bitches, politically, of course. And you're going to get hell from now until Election Day because you're a bunch of no-good, hypocritical, no-good son of a bitches. Anyway, with me, a great gentleman. He's the one that started this movement a few years back, Mr. Steve Reeb. Steve, how the hell you doing, buddy?
Great, Bob. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine. You're still on the county board. We would have loved you had you as a candidate, but you had other things going on. And but Steve, you're the one that led the charge back in the day, and you just about you did single-handedly beat these rotten, no-good, cultural corruption son of a bitches in St. Clair County. As always, they stole the election, but you got to be proud of yourself for the campaign you put on back then.
Well, what I'm really proud of is it took a coalition like you're doing to another degree. And it was Democrats and Republicans, and folks said, don't waste your time in East St. Louis walking precincts, but I did it anyway. don't go down to up Centerville, don't Washington Park, did it anyway. And that's what got us the coalition that we had back then. So very proud of that group.
Yeah. Now you're still on the county board representing the good, and they've fortunate to have a guy like you, because I know you'll fight the fight. Hell, you took them on single-handedly. I know you'll fight the fight, and I know you're an entrepreneur. What else is going on in your great world?
That's just about it. Got 2 grandkids. Enjoy that. Enjoy my family. Play music over in Soulard and over here.
You know what? You've got a good reputation over there, and hell, I've seen you at a few things here in St. Clair County, and you're going to be gracious enough. I know you're going to attend, because we want to honor you that day. Because again, you were the first to start this movement, and we're just picking it up. But you're going to honor us with some songs. I heard you sing Johnny Cash songs, and hell. You sound just about like him. You sound great, and I mean that sincerely.
Thank you, sir. I've done a couple Johnny Cash tribute shows, and at Scottish Rite. In fact, it was for the Fraternal Order of Police that we did that. So,
I remember that. Yeah. And you didn't come in there for me to plug you, but
no.
Do you, if somebody'd want to use you as a performer, do you go out for the public? I mean, are you for hire like a real Johnny Cash? I know.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
How does somebody get a hold of you?
Well, there's the ubiquitous Facebook, so I'm on Facebook. And
hey, there's no Steve. We can't cuss on the air. Now, come on.
Yeah, that's right. I used the U word, didn't I?
Yeah, yes, you did.
And I'm Facebook's probably the best way to get a hold of me.
And how's that? What do we go
under
to?
Steve Reeb. So
just Steve Reeb?
Yeah. And it posts where I'm playing and whatnot. I also have a website, stevereebmusic.com.
And that's REEB?
B as in beer. Or
B as in beer. Okay, well, I like that. Okay. I don't drink, but I like the sound.
Yeah.
But no, you've got a great reputation over in the Soulard area, and very, very. And I know you've got other businesses going. You're a true entrepreneur, but I guess this is what you enjoy, entertaining people.
But nothing I enjoy more than being on the county board. 16 years, and it's a fight worth fighting. It really is. I always tell my friends below the hill, if you vote with us once in a while, we can have a say in the budget. We can have a say in what goes on in the county. And it's taking what you're doing to bring all these people together. Maybe that'll be the light that the board members see, and they're like, you know what? We can do something if we all work together.
I got from a janitor up there, and I won't mention 3 or 4 of the board members because a couple of them are half decent, but they're Democrats. They threw their packets away. They get those 4-inch packets worth of stuff, Steve. They don't read them. When Kern says something, he looks over, he calls Sprague, and then Sprague will tell Kern what to do. Kern will tell his bobbleheads what to do, and it moves on from there. And it's amazing, isn't it?
It sure is, and I could tell stories about that as well. But we had a person that voted with me one time, and it was on tort reform. And we had a bunch of doctors in the house, medical malpractice, and we were passing a resolution. And this person accidentally voted with me. That did not happen again.
Well, I guess not. See, that's the problem, Steve. But I tell you, you're one hell of a man. You and Ed Cockrell, Larry Stammer, you guys aren't going to be intimidated by those son of a bitches, and they don't like you.
And that's all right. They don't have to like me, but I kill them with kindness. You hit them with a velvet hammer, That's my approach to it anyway. You get more done that way.
Well, usually when you hit somebody with a velvet hammer, they're gay. I know that's not what you're insinuating, but gay guys like velvet hammers is all I'm saying. They like to be hit, and I think they pay for that, Steve,
Not
actually.
that there's anything wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong. That's right. Just don't sneak up behind me. Hey, Steve, I got here, and I want to salute the New Vision Democrats in East St. Louis. These are half of the committeemen. They fought hard the culture of corruption down in East St. Louis. Michael Roberts, Oliver Hamilton, Robert Eastern, Lily Butler, Tyrone Bills, R.C. Clark, Edith Moore, Terrence Stitt, Jesse Lewis, Samuel Swanson, Harry Hollingsworth, Melvin Hibbler. These guys just signed a Declaration of Independence, Steve. They're the true Democrats. They're bolting away from the plantation Democrats, from the Greenwoods and from the Parkses and from the Charlie Powells. These are true Democrats, and these guys, I want to salute them all because they've got the guts. They had the guts. They boycotted the Democratic Convention Wednesday night, and they said, we're tired. We're tired of being here on the plantation, Sprague and Kern and Barra Civic. And I want to salute all those guys and ladies, Orlando Fridge, for what they've done. Kim Haywood, they have struck the first blow for true democracy in St. Clair County. They're going against the culture of corruption. It's the New Vision Democrats, a new vision in East St. Louis for a better tomorrow. And Oliver Hamilton and Robert Eastern and June Dean Hamilton, everyone, Edith Moore, you guys, I'm proud of you good people, because you're going to take the proud blacks off the plantation and lead them to victory in November. And victory is destroying this culture of corruption. It has helped destroy not just East St. Louis, but everybody in St. Clair County. Steve Reeb, if you would have had this organization, hell, you'd still be the county board chairman.
Well, let me say this. Edith and Lily, I haven't seen them in years, but they're dear friends. Harry and Oliver
Hamilton?
Yep. But I distinctly remember going down to Lily Butler's house. I think she lived on 52nd Street. And she was helping me pass out literature. And right by the old high school, I do believe. And the News Democrat called me and they said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm knocking on doors in East St. Louis." And they said, "What?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, "You're a Republican." I said, "Yeah, where am I supposed to be, O'Fallon?"
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But anyway, Lily helped me so much. A lot of those folks did, and that was, hell, Bob, that was 2004. So.
Yeah. And you know what well, Steve, again, you started, I know you say no and you don't want to get the accolades, but I'm giving it to you. You started the movement. We're going to finish it off. We've got Cahokia, where a lot of the Democratic committeemen are now not just bolting from the culture of corruption Democratic Party in St. Clair County. They become Republicans, and not established Republicans, just true rank and file, hard-working people. We've got Washington Park involved, Mayor Black out in Caseyville, out in Allerton. It's a movement, and you know, the analogy I would give, Steve, is we put 40 holes in their dam, and they've got patches for about 10. They're not going to be able to patch all the holes come November.
You bet. Boy, that's you mentioned Cahokia, by the way, Bob, in Chris's hometown. Those guys did not like Mark Kern. They probably still don't, and they were helping me openly and whatever they could do.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
a lot of good people out in Cahokia.
You betcha, absolutely.
You know, these are 17. There's 25 committeemen, and a few of these lost. But hell, when you lose 255 to 240, we'll take the 240 vote, and a few of them have lost. But these are the New Vision. The true New Vision Democratic committeemen, and I think Sprague and Kern and Bear Civic, they're in a lot of trouble because the proud blacks below the hill have had enough, and I don't think they're going to take it anymore.
It has a lot to do with you, because a lot of people listen to you above and below the hill, and that's a credit to what you're doing. So, well,
you know what, and it's not me, and I appreciate that, Steve. It's the message. I have the opportunity, and I've got the guts, and I got no sense. I am nuts, you know, and I don't give a damn. And when I was running for office, I told people, you don't have to vote for me. I don't have to have a title to be somebody. I was a great father. I love animals, and I'm going to die a man. You know, story's over. That's all I give a damn about. I want to make a difference. I'd like to make a friend along the way, but my job, if I would have went to Springfield, I got everybody pissed at me there because the legislation was going to be no more pensions for nobody. Now, the Democratic guys will hate me, the Republican guys will hate me, but the people in the state of Illinois will love me because we don't need to give pensions, lifetime pensions, big pensions for part-time positions. But see, that's not politically popular in Springfield. But see, I'm not a popular guy. I want to make a difference, not a friend. What do you think?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And it is the message. It is the message. There's no doubt about it. I'm not the most handsome guy, but I delivered a strong message when I was running, and that's what people seem to be attracted to.
Yeah. Well, my message was, let's get rid of the culture of corruption. And by the way, I was getting a lot of votes this way. And think about it. I told the people after they saw me and heard me on the air, if I don't get elected, I told all of them I'm moving in their neighborhood and their property values would go down 50%. Hell, that's enough to get you elected. Me elected, not you. You can do it the right way. See, I gotta intimidate them like that.
When they subpoenaed me for that voter fraud trial, and Bruce Cook had me on the stand. He had a picture of a big poster of me and Carl Officer and Riley Owens and whatnot. And he said, well, Steve Reeb got 2,000 votes in East St. Louis. If you calculate that times 10, that's this money that Riley Owens was dishing out. And I said, you can't paint me with that brush, Matlock. Republicans don't buy votes. We don't know how. Yeah. You know. So when you talk about that kind of stuff, it's like it's crazy. Yeah.
And it's amazing. And the problem is the people in the outer county, they say, well, we don't care about East St. Louis. And I say how East St. Louis goes is how the whole county goes, because they steal whatever votes. The people in the county, number one, have to get involved. We have to come out strong, Democrats and Republicans, to vote against this culture of corruption. There's so many Democrats, they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton, they tell me. Then they're coming over and taking the whole other side of the ticket because they're going to show these no good son of a bitch and rotten bastard, good for nothing scumbag, scum of the earth, political parasitical punks that we call politicians. They're going to show them once and for all, Steve, that they're finally, after 50 years, they're tired of it.
And that's a good point as well. And I have union friends now that aren't afraid to say, we're going to vote the person, not the party. And these were people that 10 years ago would have never thought of doing something like that.
Good point. And let me tell you, hey, God, Sprague, Bob, I'd rather piss in my pants and maybe crap in them. Hey, you crap in your drawers. You smell like you do. You smell like you do, Sprague. But anyway, there's a movement. Bob Sprague people, let Curtis McCall Jr. fire all those hardworking union people. And he says he's for the union. He's not for the union. He's not for your union people. He gives you the old okey-for-doke. But they tell me that Jerry Nichols is going to demand and make a move that the village of Cahokia sue Bob Sprague for malpractice, because that was malpractice. Everyone knew that they couldn't pull this off. Bob Sprague, the city attorney, sit there and let Curtis McCall Jr. slaughter financially, because these people been off work 6-8 months. Slaughtered them financially. Hardworking union members, you hear me, Sprague? And he sit there. All you good union people throughout this county, Bob Sprague, sit there and let it happen. And Steve, what an outrageous thing to do. Just take these good, hardworking union people and Bob Sprague, a union supporter, my ass, and let the mayor just illegally fire them all. Now they're all back to work. It's going to cost the taxpayers of Cahokia $200,000-$300,000, and all because of politics and Bob Sprague's crap that he thinks he can get away with it in St. Clair County. Because to me, my opinion is he thinks he owns the courthouse up there.
Of course they do. That's been their thing all these years. You're going to change that this year, though.
Well, no, I'm not going to change it. We. That's right. Thank you, Steve. We the people. Steve Reeb, a great guy. He is the front runner. He's a front runner, and he is the pioneer that started this revolution, started this movement. We picked it up, and Steve, I want to thank you, because it was you that inspired all of us. Hope to see you at the dinner on April the 30th. And people, come on out. If nothing else, come on out and listen to Steve Reeb, and he's going to do some Johnny Cash and hopefully some patriotic songs. And
whatever you desire.
It's going to be whatever I desire would be a shotgun. And, well, never mind. A political shot. Never mind. So, Steve Reeb, thank you very much, buddy.
You're very welcome, sir.
You're a good man. The people of St. Clair County are fortunate to have you as one of us. Would hope you would get more involved politically, but you got your life to live, and it's a shame, because we could use a man like you. But hey, we'll take your advice, we'll take your guidance, and we'll take you along with us anytime you want to go.
Well, it's a pleasure.
Mr. Steve Reeb, thank you very much. We got to go. We're out of time. Everybody, friend and foe, have a good weekend. And I don't want my enemies to die. I really don't, because I want to keep them alive so I can aggravate these rotten bastards like they've aggravated all of us. And we're going to do it together. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio. And you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane broadcasting, America's bi-state. You hear me, Duper? And the Noodle Barasivic. Hey, Noodle, why don't you take that noodle and shove it somewhere where the sun don't shine to Duper? No, Duper, never mind. America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot. See everyone Monday morning when we'll continue to expose these rotten bastard political parasitical punks that we call politicians, these low-life scumbag, good-for-nothing bastards. Hey, both Democrats and Republicans too. There's enough scum to go around for these son of a bitches. Just let it be known. And I like what Steve said and what we preach. Vote the person, not the party. To hell with the D, to hell with an R behind your name. Means nothing what you say you are. It's what you do, not what you say you are. So let's all continue to unite as one. Democrats, Republican, men, women, independents, black and white, unite as one and continue to expose these rotten bastards, these scumbag political son of a bitches. And when it's all said and done, come November the 8th, 2016, you know what we got to do. We got to destroy once and for all these no good, rotten bastards, these low-life, what do they call me, bottom-feeding son of a bitch. And I still won't know what that means, but I'm going to use it on them because they use it on me, bottom-feeding son of a bitches. And let's destroy them once and for all. Politically, of course, right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful.